Hi there, my name is San, and today we'll check all the daily insights that I had on business and branding throughout the day as owner of Badass Branding Agency. Let's get it started. So the first thing I wrote it down in some notes today on support and team. So it's really important to have people who are interested in your new winning. Sometimes you might think that nobody's interested in you winning, nobody's interested in you reaching the goal, everybody's envious, everybody does not want you to become rich, successful, happy, loved, and all the other stuff, maybe your parents. And honestly, that's the way I was brought up. That was the culture I grew up in. My parents told me that nobody except them wanted the best for me. Partially, I agree with that. Everybody's seeking power, everybody's seeking something. But there are people who are interested in you winning, and that's often your team. Because the more money you make, the more money my agency would make, the more clients you would have, the more popularity you would gain. Guess what? The more money my team would be getting. It means that they are interested in winning. And it's really important to have many people who are interested in you because it really multiplies the chance of you winning. It multiplies the work that can be done on behalf of you or on behalf of the brand that you build in, whether it's business, whatever that you build in, any product or service, right? The more people are interested in success, the more success you'll get. That's a pretty obvious thing here. And what's really interesting about support and people here is I listened to podcasts by Lila Ramosi today, and she was speaking on how 5 people that you spend the most time with, they form your personality. And that's true. So it's really important to select those people that we spend the most time with wisely. In terms of team, in terms of work and business, it's about recruitment process. It's about building this culture in the team. And we have even rules on building correct culture in our team. One rule is becoming better every day, like 1% better. We have chat where we would do stuff outside of work that would make us 1% better every day. Read a book, listen to a podcast, cook something new, or go for a run and go to the gym, learn, I don't know, take some new course or stuff. And it's really important to have community for that so that everybody would motivate each other and would see that not everybody does this better stuff consistently. We all have flaws, we all have really different periods in life when we're not motivated, and there are people that you know that would support you. They wouldn't be dragging you down, they wouldn't be envious of you, they would be interested in you winning and in your teammates growing and becoming richer, becoming more aware, more powerful, becoming more conscious, becoming more knowledgeable. Because the richer your friends are, the richer you are. So there is no sense in wishing anybody being poor, anybody being successful. There is no sense in taking, there are people that would create some product. For example, I had a mentorship program and I have around 30 lessons recorded on YouTube, each for an hour or hour and a half. And then I had 17 tasks custom made and designed for that mentorship program. That's mentorship on UI and UX design. And it's all programmed. And if I would be stuck with that materials, because I'm no longer a mentor, I'm no longer selling that course, it's a bit out of dated. Like it was a couple of years back, and a lot of programs have changed their interfaces, so it's not that much relevant. Some of the basic concepts of composition and design, of course, but not all of it. So if I would just keep those materials to myself, what would I do with that? That's called greed. Like that's being me greedy. Like I don't want to share these materials with anybody. But what if I would give these materials like openly to all the people that are interested in learning UI UX design? Because these materials are really valuable. I've spent several months recording and building them, and I've put heart and soul into that project. I'm no longer interested in making money with that. So why don't I just help people around me become better? And this way I will become better. And that's really the opposite to the thing that parents taught me when I was a kid. Like, they are not telling you to share stuff for free. When you would be studying at school and somebody would ask like for your paper to copy it or homework, right? We used to hold it to ourselves, like to limit the people who would be able to copy your homework. Of course, I'm not enforcing any plagiarism or any. I respect. Um, I'm not sure how it's called. Being honest when you study, and not cheating. It's really important, and you should be getting your knowledge, obviously. But when it happens, when somebody asks to copy your paper or homework or stuff, I don't think that you should be holding that only to you, because it's not wise. I should have shared my homework with more people. Help out. Well, would help out more people, and they would be more interested in my success as well. So, but that was back in the day when we didn't have any programs that would check how similar our homework was. So yeah, I'm going too deep into some details and stories, but honestly, just share the stuff that you have with people. Just help them out, and they would help you. Like, the more you give to the people around you, the more they give to you. It's not about universe, it's not about something mythical, it's not about some philosophy or stuff. It's literally how it works. You get more people who are interested in your win now. And about having the right people around you. So yeah, 5 core people that you spend the most time with, they form you, so choose them wisely. And the last part about this insight is, there are, when we were talking, like Leila Mozi was talking about partners, there are partners in life, your closest spouse or person, that would be neutral to your goals, that would help you out and multiply your achievements, and those that would really drag you back. And one of the types is really interesting. These are people who are insecure about themselves, and they create doubts. So people around you or your team that you're building in business or around a brand, it's all relatable. I adore how all the things in life are so relatable to building team, to building business. So listen to it. When there are people in a team who are insecure, who are envious of others, you might not even notice at first them, but they would be saying things like, oh, you should be resting more because you are working too much. It looks like they are caring about our well-being, about our health, about the team, their teammates, but as it would go on, they would slow you down. Sometimes I suspect I have ADHD, I'm not sure, but I used to limit my energy, to restrict myself from doing something extra when I wanted to. Now I'm no longer restricting myself. If I want to wake up at 4 a.m. and work until 2 a.m. the next day, I will do that, because I sometimes can be hyper focused, right? And I had people around me that would say to me that it's not normal, that it's not healthy. I would listen to them, and that wouldn't bring me any benefit. They was just them dragging me down. And I have also one more story. I had friends, and one specifically, who used to doubt the things that I did. Like, I would set really big goals that I'm not sometimes sure about the goals and how I would reach them. Honestly, I have some goals that I'm like, how the fuck would I go there? But I know that it's possible. I know that people do that, and I know that's not such like an impossible thing to do for me, unreachable. It's possible, and I'll do that. I'll just have to figure out the way to do it. So that friend would say to me that I can't be on that level. Like, I'm just a girl from a village. Like, why are you even saying that? Because it's not, like, you should be resting more. Like, you are working so much, you are spending so little time with your friends, you're spending so little time outdoor. You should, like, you are gonna get sick, you should be working that much. People won't be paying that much for your course because you're not that expert of that level. And when that friend told me that selling a course that I created for like half of a year for $30 per seat was too expensive, my students said to me that it's too cheap and I should be selling it for like at least twice the price. And so I stopped talking to that friend. And it looked like the friend was worried about me. I don't think that. I truly expressed my thought that if I have big goals, like, either you support me or you're not dragging me down. Some people have different goals and it's okay, but it's not okay to be envious and to have those people in a team or around you. Because you're going to be just dragging in different directions and create tension. Now, the second insight about having uncomfortable situations on time and conversations. I meant having uncomfortable conversations, yeah. So sometimes problems happen in a team. Somebody would get envious, somebody would disrespect somebody would miss the deadline, or there would be conflicts, disagreements, shit happens. And we cannot avoid this, but we can deal with it. And we should be dealing with these problems not like right away, not in the moment, but during like a day or 2 days. That's the rule that I have for myself. In the moment, people might be too emotional, too driven. They wouldn't be objective. They wouldn't have time or second to take a deep breath in and, calm down and think constructively. So first, I need to give time for people to think constructively if they are aware of the conflict, right? The second step I would do is address the conflict and address the situation and try to figure out who is like wrong here and who is right. Most of the cases, everybody is wrong and right at the same time. So we have to make some conclusions and decide what we are doing about the situation. And really often, I do not know how to address the situation. Like, I just don't have the solution. I'm not a judge here. So I would just do the move, but that would be not perfect move. I would just start the conversation. I would address the issue. I would reinforce the values that we stand for, our rules in the agency, and if somebody is disobeying them, yes, we letting that person go. But the thing is that I will never be able to address the situations and confrontations perfectly. There is no way. I should just start a conversation with them. And it's not fun. It's not great. Like me creating rules for my agency. I call my agency badass. So why do we need rules? We are such badass people. But we are different people. We have different upbringing, different life, different standards, different approach to our everyday life. And it all affects the work. And if we do not align on something, we are not moving in the same direction. We are moving in different directions, which is called stagnation, or maybe like it's dragging us to the bottom of the ocean. So we should have some rules in order to be aligned and move in the same direction. And having conversations about rules, about how we should be working, it's not fun for me either. Like, I'm not enjoying that. I'm not enjoying reading all those rules and reinforcing them and saying that you are not right and you are not, like, it's super stressful for me and it's unpleasant for me. And sometimes I get sad. There were situations, one situation when I would know that I have this tough conversation with a team member, and I know that the situation and the outcome really does not depend on me. It's not my decision right now. It's the decision on this team player, right? On the way he would act. If team member would show respect, would show that he understands the rules and he's aligned with our vision still, and he would like acknowledge some of the mistakes and I would acknowledge mine, it's gonna be fine. We are gonna figure that out, we're gonna work it out. But if he shows like emotional response, disrespect, not understanding the values, or those really unpleasant things, or wouldn't be controlling himself, I know that that would be second mistake, and I know that I should let that person go. That was maybe the hardest conversation because I didn't know how that would go. I was upset because I'm like, we have such a great team and everybody's working so well. I love these people so much. But just because of this situation, we might be losing a really great player. I would honestly be sad. I can find another player. I can teach another person. I know how to do this. There's no problem. But sometimes I get attached to my team and it's hard for me. So having imperfect but conversations that would really clear out the problem and situation is really helpful. Why? Because if we ignore the situation, it would get bigger with our agency. As the agency would grow, problems would grow with us. The third insight is teach your team the right way. Let them do mistakes. Honestly, it would be great if people would be able to learn from their own mistake, from like somebody else's mistakes. That's what I meant to say. But they are not. Most often they are not just learning from others. They do not have attention span, they're not observing enough, they are not learning enough. They just do the thing, then suffer the consequence. And in most cases, we learn only from our own mistakes, even though we want to learn from others, right? And even though it's wiser, we just do mistakes. And it happens so often that I see a team member about to make a mistake and I would prevent him from doing that by doing it for him. And that is the worst thing I ever did, because by doing something for my team, for team players, to get the best outcome, the best result, I'm not teaching anybody, I'm not growing my team, I'm not making them independent. So I should just let them do mistakes. And that's super painful for me. I'm about to cry at this moment. Why? Because sometimes when I let my team do mistakes, we might lose a client, we get bad reviews, we lose money that we won't be able to pay for rent, for bills, for stuff. We won't have the salary. Sometimes we would get bad case portfolio and that would waste like 40 hours of work and it would get nothing in the end, or we would have conflict and lose long-term cooperation. It means that like returning income in the future. So things might really go bad when we do mistakes. There is no chance. Honestly, with the way I approach work, I know that I can make mistakes, but I'm trying so hard not to make any. When I see the chance to correct thing, I do that, because at this moment I know that it's my business that I'm talking about. It's not some assignment at school that I cannot care of. I see that there are mistakes, but I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I just submit that to the teacher and that's it. Here, if I see the mistakes, I see that something might happen, I better reassure, I better correct them. I really approach work super seriously and I'm trying not to let anything bad happen, because I know how much it costs me. But I have to let my team do mistakes, and it is at my expense. And that's why they say that you should go to somebody else's business, spend their money and do mistakes at their expense and then create your own. So here I am letting others do mistakes at my expense. It's hard, but I think it's the right way to build a team. Okay, see, if I'd be doing everything instead of them, they would be always attached to me as members. They wouldn't be creative units. They would be asking millions of questions, which is irritating really often. But yeah, these are 3 insights. So the first of all is support and people around you, your team, are really important. You should choose them wisely and filter them. The second insight is do uncomfortable conversations on time, even though they are not perfect. And the third one is teach your team the right way and let them do mistakes at your expense. These are the insights for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.